Everyone, hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to teach you how to multiply surds together. So when you multiply surds, it's kind of like multiplying normal numbers, like similar rules apply. So before we get into that, these are surds. So this is a surd, this is a surd, this is a surd, this is a surd, and I believe the definition is like the root of a number. So this could be the square root or the third root, so on and so forth. So a square root would be, the second root or square root. The third root, if you had a little 3 here, it'd be like the cubed root. If you had something cubed, then it'd be the cubed root. For example, like 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So 5 is the cubed root of 125, okay? So those all count as surds. That's what a surd is. And when you have surds together, so for example, this is a square root times a square root, you can just times the numbers inside the square root when they're being multiplied. So in this case, it'd just be equal to the square root of 20 times 5. So is equal to the square root of, I'll put all the working in, this is 20 times 5. 20 times 5 is equal to 100. So that's the square root of 100. And it just so happens that the square root of 100 is equal to 10. So this simplifies quite nicely. That's how you do question number 1. So just to reiterate, you multiply the numbers inside the square root symbol and you just multiply them like they're normal numbers. Now, I don't know if you want to pause the video and give this a go. You'll need to know how to expand double brackets. I think I have a couple videos on my channel, or I'll try and find one and put it down below. If you are or not going to give it a go, you can pause the video now. I'm going to jump into it. So question number 2, we have square root of 3 times the square root of 3, which is actually equal to 3, because if you have the square root of something times the square root of something, like, for example, square root of 9 is 3, so the square root of 9 times the square root of 9 is 3 times 3, which is 9. So that's just going to equal 3 in our case. That's going to be equal to 3, because the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. 2 times 1, that's nice and easy, that's just 2. And then 1 times square root of 3 is equal to, so you do plus the square root of 3, because we've got one lot of them, and then we have 2 more actually. So we have plus 2 times the square root of 3, because we have 2 more of them. So 3 and 2 add quite nicely together to give us 5, and then the square root of 3 plus 2 times square root of 3 is going to be 3 lots of the square root of 3. And I think that's as far as we can go, because what you can do is sometimes simplifying these numbers, you could look at the 3 and be like, well, that's the square root of 9. So you could do square root of 9 times the square root of 3. Actually, would that simplify? So equal to 5 plus square root of 9. No, because it would be, then that would give us the square root of 27, which I don't think you can square root. So I think that's our final answer. You basically just try to simplify as much as you can, or they might ask you what format they want the answer in. But yeah, that's effectively how you multiply surds, and you can kind of manipulate them by changing the format a bit if you want to simplify them. But that's pretty much how you do it. And there are also similar rules as well, for dividing, adding, but that's a whole nother video. So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully it was clear. And yeah, best of luck with your maths.